Greetings everyone. I hope you're good. This is Mr. God Given Vitalizzi and welcome to my channel. Okay, today I'm going to be teaching you how to submit your music to 1,000 plus radio stations globally, wherever you're in your country. First, I'm going to start with South Africa. If you're in South Africa and you want to release your music on radio, like 1,000 radio stations globally from your country, from a community radio station, commercial and international. You see now, community is a radio station that broadcasts maybe in your area, like around your area, like your hood where you stand, and it cannot broadcast or it cannot reach another region or another province. But now a commercial radio station is a radio station that can reach to a lot of provinces or different regions, that can broadcast nationally in your country. That's a commercial radio. An international radio station is a radio station that broadcasts in countries where they can reach maybe South Africa and other African countries in a continent. That's an international kind of a radio station. I'm not talking just about online, but I'm talking about the signal. You understand what I mean? The real signal, not the online kind of a thing. Even if you're online, you can just tune in to a commercial radio wherever you are in your country. But if it's an international radio station, you can also tune in wherever you are in any country. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so these are the first steps that you need to follow if you want to get your music to this kind of radio station. First of all is record good quality music, which means you have to record your music in a professional studio to get the professional sound. If you're recording at home, you have a studio at home, make sure that your music is good quality, it's recorded perfect and it's good. You can hear the sound properly, you know how to master your music. Right, now that you have your quality sound, the second step is to register your music. You register your music in different countries. There's different music rights organizations, right? In South Africa, there's SAMRO, there's SAMPRA, there's RISA, there's CAPASO, and the rest, alright? So if you want to register with RISA, you're going to need an RC code, which is essential for your radio distribution. An RC code that you get from RISA, before it was free, but now you get it for a fee. You have to pay for it. You are charged. So if you want to know how much is an RC code, you have to visit the RISA website, which is risa.org.za. Now, to become a RISA member, also you become a RISA member at a fee, but you don't have to become a RISA member if you don't want to. You're not obligated. You can just pay for the RC code, use the RC code, and not become a RISA member. That's all. And then you can just pay for the RC code and avoid the annual fee stuff for membership. But if you want to become a member, you have to pay a membership fee. All those fees are listed in the RISA website, and they also send you a PDF with all the banking details where you can pay for them. And then SAMRO is free of charge to join. To register with SAMRO, to become a SAMRO member, you register free of charge. You can visit the website samro.org.za and SAMPRA as well .co.za to register with them. Now, SAMRO is a South African music rights organization, you know, that registers you for the music copyright, and it collects royalties for you wherever your music has been played. And SAMPRA collects royalties for needle time, like how many times your song has played and radio has been spinning. But all this organization you can only check your plays if you have an RC code, which is the one that you receive or obtain from RISA. So which means you have to register your music first. Now that you're registered and you have a good quality song, your song, you must make sure that you have a version that you're going to be releasing digitally, and you have to have a radio version that you're going to be releasing on radio. Now, a radio version has to be 4 minutes, and it cannot be 5 minutes or 6 minutes or 8 minutes long, because on radio they're going to reject your song, not because the song is not good enough, because it's too long. You understand what I mean? And the size. Now, the length and it's the size. You see? You've recorded good quality music. 1. Second of all, you've registered your song. 3. You make sure that the length of your song is not longer than 4 minutes. 4. you make sure that the size of your song is not too large. At least it must be at least 6 MB, and then the quality has to be good, right? 6 maybe. Some can accept about 10 megabytes, but you don't have to have a larger size of your song, or else they're not going to be able to receive your song even if you email it to them. You know what I mean? So you have to have a smaller size. Your artwork doesn't necessarily have to be so large, even if it's less than a megabyte or it's just kilobyte in size, just because you want them to see you. You understand what I mean? Now that you have your artwork and everything, all these 5 things that are listed, now you need your biography to tell them who you are, where you started, how this thing is going, even if you haven't released music before, but just to give them a brief of who you are, to tell them who you are. You understand? You just need to write a short biography. Now that you have a biography and your music is registered, boom, I think you're ready to get your music to radio. Now, how do you get your music to this 1,000 plus radio station? Okay, if you want to do it yourself, you have to work very hard to find those radio stations, and by googling them and going to different places. Sometimes you can find wrong information together, sometimes you'll find the correct information. Yes, it's possible to find it, but it takes time. But if you don't want to waste all the time looking and searching, you just want to do the straight up thing, go to your Google Play Store app and download the GGP Radio Play app, which is going to help you to get your music in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Mozambique, in Ghana, in Jamaica, in Nigeria, in the UK, and the USA, all these countries that are mentioned here. The GGP Radio Play app is going to get your music out there to 1,000 plus radio stations. Plus, once your music has been playlisted, you're going to receive an email with your login details to your dashboard, where you're going to be able to check which radio stations has playlisted your music, and you're going to be able to check those radio stations who has playlisted your songs, which is a good thing, which is good service, right? But now, is the GGP Radio Play free to use? Is it free to get your music? No, it's not free. You have to pay a fee of about 350 rand per song to 500 radio stations. But if you want 1,000 plus radio stations, you only pay 700 rand. And now, how do I know that this thing is legit, and how many musicians have used this app so far? Of course, there's not much downloads at the moment if you check on Play Store, but there's a lot of musicians who use the platform using the URL to submit their music. There's about 40,000 plus musicians, not only from South Africa but from other countries globally, who's used the app. But right now it's been released recently. Previously they were using the URL radioairplay.ggpproductions.com. So now if you don't have an Android phone, you have an iPhone, you have to visit the URL radioairplay.ggpproductions.com. But if you have Android device, then you have to go to Google Play Store. But if you're using a Huawei phone, then it's not yet at App Gallery. It should be there after a month or two. If you're watching this video after a month or two, then you should be able to find the GGP Radio Play app on App Gallery and iOS or App Store, right? You can find it there. But if you're watching it right now, as soon as it's released, then the iOS version of the app hasn't been released yet. It's still in the process. Soon it's going to be released, in a month or two, then it's going to be available. But at the moment, you can use the URL radioairplay.ggpproductions.com to get your music to these radio stations. And another cool thing is that if you want to be hosted in this radio stations, like have interviews, you can speak to the GGP Radio Play team and tell them that you would like to go there for an interview. Sometimes when your song is submitted, the radio station will send an email to the GGP Radio Play team requesting for the artist to come in for an interview, either physically or telephonically. You understand? Which means you're going to speak to the radio station through your phone. So that means you don't have to pay for that. If the radio station is asking you to have an interview with them, that means it's free. You don't pay for those services. It's free services. But now if you want the GGP Radio Airplay team to book an interview for you on another radio station, other commercial or community or international radio station, then you're gonna have to pay them a fee. All those fees are listed on their app and website, radioairplay.ggpproductions.com or the GGP Radio Airplay app. Okay, should you need to find out more about this app, just go to their Instagram. Check those artists. Not all of them are there, but just a few, or maybe find out about it. Just request people around you, find out if anyone knows about this thing, if it's legit, if it's real, and then use the app. Okay, this is how you're gonna get your music to 1,000+ radio stations. If you have any questions, you're welcome to write those questions below, and I'm willing to give you an answer. But I'm also having the link of the app right below in the description, and also the URL of the official site to submit your music to this radio stations. And if you need some advice from me, well, I just leave an email below, and you can ask me directly, for some advice, and I'm willing to share with you. Enjoy. And if you're enjoying this video and you like what I'm sharing with you, this information, you're welcome to click the subscribe button and the like. Give me a thumbs up, everybody. I love you and I like you already. Away.